Thanks for staying with us. So join us on the show, on the studio, is to discuss how the state government is tackling the issue of unemployment and poverty alleviation in the state. Who and who is eligible for the special fund, how to be a beneficiary of different career-driven initiatives under the purview, the terms and conditions and all that. Joining us now is the Executive Secretary at the Lagos State Trust Fund, Tejumola Abisoye. Welcome to the show.
Pleasure to be here.
Lagos State Education and Employment Trust Fund. Yes. So education is in my head, but Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. Yes, that's what it is. Thank you for joining us on the show. So I know before you came, we're talking about DNAs and all that. So I would be happy to know if DNA, if the scientists or specialists or lab specialists can now be getting jobs for DNA.
When BC suggested it, I thought to myself, now that is a good policy to think about, because again, all we will say at the Employment Trust Fund is new jobs, because a new line of business in every hospital just means they have to employ more people.
Exactly.
I think that for us will be our take on it.
Fantastic. So let's talk about employment in Lagos State, because we're graduating lawyers, doctors, engineers, business administration, and all that. Are these people employable? And if they aren't, what are the opportunities out there for them within Lagos State?
Thank you for that question. And I think the reality we do recognize across Nigeria, but Lagos in particular, being the economic capital of the commercial nerve center, is that we don't have the right people for the jobs that are available in the market. Across Nigeria, we are graduating doctors, but actually we're training for Diaspora.
Yes.
Because, like somebody said, it's the cheapest place to train a doctor. The next thing is to leave. But and we do need doctors here. Definitely we need doctors here. There's no question about it. We still have the lowest per capita per head for a doctor to population. And the second thing is lawyers. We're graduating too many lawyers that the market doesn't need.
Right.
Wow. Oh, yes. And the question then is, what kind of interventions can we begin to think about that would help us make sure that people actually are doing programs that they can get jobs in? And I think that, for us, is one priority for the Lagos State government. So one thing that we're working on is called the Labor Market Information System, which then provides real data, real time, on the employment opportunities in the market. And we can also project for 2-3 years about what kind of jobs will be available in the market. People can get career gap counseling before they take up programs in universities. That's one thing that is very critical.
Yeah. So anytime I hear trust fund, money just comes to my head. So is this different from just doling out cash to people to find their level? Or just tell me exactly what it's about.
Okay, thank you. So the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund was created in 2016 to address the issues around youth unemployment. Nationwide, we recognize that MSMEs actually create over 80% of the jobs. So what the Trust Fund actually does today is we provide support to make sure that businesses can grow. And because of that growth, employ more people. So we provide funding, access to affordable financing for all categories of businesses, mostly nanos, micro, small businesses. And the idea is they can have access to funding at about 9%, which is cheaper, more competitive than commercial rates. And we do this, then provide them advisory support, legal support, capacity development, what we think is necessary to actually help improve their capabilities as a business.
Okay, so I have a brother. He and two of his friends have a company, and I know Lagos State helped IT companies. I think they got them paid for rent for about a year. So they were one of the beneficiaries. And, you know, that's a great thing. And I'm wondering, so a person now who comes to Lagos, I didn't school in Lagos, I don't live in Lagos, but I've heard about this trust fund, and I come into Lagos. Where do I go? First step, I'm a graduate of, let's say, business administration. Where do I go first to get the sort of help that you're offering?
Okay, thank you. So the program you spoke about is under our Lagos Innovates program. So what we do under that program is provide support to tech-enabled businesses. And again, we do this by providing access to infrastructure, so they can get a voucher and go and work out of any of our workspace partners. So the idea is we make sure that you don't have to be thinking about broadband, you don't have to be thinking about power. Just face this tech startup of yours and let it blow. And, you know, but for us, again, most likely what we assume is if you want to start a business, you can read LSCTF is your point of call. You can call the Employment Trust Fund website, email, look at what we're offering, and see how you fit into that. If you're tech-enabled, you can get support under the Lagos Innovates program. If you're just a traditional business, you can get access to financing and the support services. And even if it is that I've started my business, I'm looking for people to employ or the skills to get this business going. LSCTF, we also have a program in partnership with different development partners, the UNDP, USADF, and GIZ, where we train young people to get the skills they need to take up jobs in the market.
So what structure of business would you say those who already have businesses can come with? Some people don't keep books. Some people have businesses, karakatani. Some people, they do a lot of social media businesses now. What exactly would you say they should have on ground? What are the things you would look and you say, this person qualifies, this person doesn't qualify?
So what we have is we have different categories. We deal with both formalized and informal businesses. We tell people, for us, it's an opportunity to improve inclusion. So people who don't normally use banking services or financial services, if you come to the LSCTF, because now you're looking for access to credit, we'll make you qualify because then you get to open an account. What we need is whatever kind of record you have, we come and see that business. So even if it's in your bedroom and you're selling through the window, we want to see the kind of size of that business and what we can support you with to make sure you then get formalized, you begin to run your business. And definitely, if you're formalized, it's much easier. If you already have records and data, everything.
Receipt booklets?
We use anything. We've used people's book and they've been writing things. We've used all sorts to actually assess people's affordability.
But people find it difficult to engage you because they just like going to the office. Do you have, what's your capacity like? Do you have people out there on the field, or because they get scared of coming to the office and asking questions, feeling they might be rejected. So do you have people on the ground who actually works with these they can actually access them easier?
So yes, we have 26 liaison. Today, as of today, we have 26 liaison offices across different local government LCDAs, which we actually always make sure that they must use their phone 24 hours. So they actually are our activation at the local level. So if Mama Splash applies, I don't know Mama Splash. My liaison officer has to be able to verify. Go to
Mama Splash is authentic.
Mama Splash is authentic. She's selling rice and stew. That's all she sells. But we all eat it, and we're very happy with it.
How would you help? Wait, how would you help a Mama Splash who's selling rice and stew? In what way would you?
So what kind
of credit would it be, and what would it be towards?
So in some cases, they're trying to buy. Not necessarily. So some of them want to get a bigger space.
Yeah.
They're ready to expand. They don't want people crossing the gutter to take rice and stew. So they need that space. They want to rent, and they can demonstrate that the number of sales they do a day can actually afford up to 500K loan, 1 million loan.
Okay.
But for you to get a millionaire loan, we expect you to formalize your business.
Okay, good.
But what we then do is, if you're not formalized, you get your 500K. We hope that before you come back, we then make sure you go through that formalization process.
Let's talk about where the loan fails, where Mama Splash collect 500,000 and then put it in the business, but she's not prudent. Not that it's not profitable, but because she's not formalized yet, or she doesn't even know, she's not literate, no formal training. And then something goes wrong, and then she's struggling to pay. Is there a way you restructure this so that she can eventually pay without closing the business totally?
Definitely. So one of the things we started when we did to de-risk those loans is actually the training. So we found out that from over 80% of our beneficiaries had no formal training before the LSCTF in terms of bookkeeping, inventory management, understanding profit and loss. This is not profit, it's capital.
Oh, yes.
So we kind of had that session where we then trained them, make sure they kind of at least have a bit of an understanding. Now, for whatever reason, anything can still happen. A business can fail, pandemic. No sales for 3 months. And she has a loan outstanding. That for us, we then have conversations around restructuring, definitely. In some cases, the guarantors actually pay, because everybody brings guarantor, a minimum of 1 guarantor. guarantors then come in and bear the brunt of that facility for them.
Wow.
And of course, there's been some cases where there's absolutely nothing we can do.
Has there ever been an extension of time for payment?
Oh, a lot of people have taken advantage of that. From our first loans to even now, a lot of people have extended their facility.
So let's talk about people who don't want to do business. So you graduate from school, study law or political science, and you don't, business is not in your DNA or your lineage. You just want to get a good job and do it, and you're finding it difficult to get employment. Can they come to you? What do you do to help them?
Thank you. Research also shows that a lot of graduates, everybody wants to first work.
Okay.
In Nigeria, even, you can see it from the numbers and our own data. People between the ages of 18 to 35 had the lowest data set in terms of people that have taken loans. It's more of older people, more experienced that go into business. It's not as rampant as we would like it to be. But people want to work. And what we say is, you want to work. Yes, you've graduated, you're a graduate, you have a degree in whatever. But is that what the market needs?
Yeah.
Today, if you come to the LSCTF, we'll tell you these are the opportunities. These are where people are employing. One of the other things we're partnering with now is a digital jobs, digital platform where you can actually freelance.
Yes.
And that one you can freelance across any skill.
Okay.
You're just that you're not tied to one office or the other. But that's the kind of, we'll tell you first, you can do training on any of the vocational skills that we have available.
Are they free?
From the government, totally free. And during the time of training as well, you also get stipends.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
And then, because you're supposed to not have a job.
Yeah.
You're supposed to really need it.
How tight?
It's tight. Very tight. So that, and then of course, the last bit for us is you can freelance, get on the platform. If you don't want to do, most likely do some skills, add some skills that are now more relevant, and get on the digital platform.
So, if a young person is watching right now, can they go to your website and get like a list of available jobs and technical skills that is required in today's market? Can they have, to give them an idea, because they just graduated, they don't know what to do, and I think, okay, maybe I can get options on their website.
I think so. I think what we do is when you want to register, we only register for the courses that are available, that we know that there are placement opportunities for. So you can only register for one of those trainings at the time you go to the platform or the website.
Okay, so initially you talked about like career counseling and for those before they go into university to help them. So given the data that you have, where would you say that young Nigerians going to university should look towards and try to study those courses?
Today?
Yes.
For me, honestly, I would say we need to work on the health sector.
Okay.
I know the challenge is people are not, jam would jam you in terms of when you want to do medicine. The expectations are pretty high. And it's valid because, again, we're talking about life.
Yes.
But I think there can be a structure where if you are determined you want to read medicine, let us build a 2-year program.
Like a diploma?
Like a diploma
To prepare
to all those issues around your biology, your physics. Let's do it in 2 years. Because this person obviously wants to read medicine for what? Whether it's to jackpot, whatever. The person wants to read medicine. Let's find structures to make sure we can increase the numbers that we're churning out as doctors, as nurses, quality ones.
Okay.
So that, I think for Nigeria, it's definitely a priority. Another thing, of course, today we're talking technical, digital skills, ICT
Data analysis, yeah.
Has there ever been issues of corruption on the part of your staff? Why I'm asking is because you have local government offices where somebody now doesn't go on the website, and somebody not literate that goes and says, okay, assist me, and he says, oh, well, Mama, we'll get you the money.
Employment
10%.
In fact,
and how do you deal with it?
Thank you, because again, we've reported a case to the police. We've had a criminal. We've actually charged somebody before who was collecting consultancy fee to help people apply. And the saddest part for us was it was for low-income schools.
Oh.
And then, the consultant was guaranteeing them at least 500,000, and you give her 10%.
Whoa.
Wow.
We charge that person to court. Again, of course, we then have a whistleblowing policy as well that we please encourage people to use if for any reason anybody's asking for money for anything related to, like, whether the form, whether application, whether processing, it's absolutely free.
But how are your numbers? How many people can you accommodate? Because lots of young people are out there, they're jobless, and they're listening to you, and I'm thinking, I'm sure they're getting millions of people. I'm just like a tiny dot in this whole gamut of people. That how do that, can you assure someone like that they might at least get some kind of attention from your?
I think anybody that applies gets our attention. So our loan portal today is actually automated. So everybody that applies goes through that process.
Okay.
Now it's automated. It's artificial intelligence where the algorithm, there's certain things we're using to actually track if this is true, if this person can afford a loan, so everybody gets attention. Now, where we need to work on, and I will tell you the truth in the LSCTF, is the people that don't pass, how we handle them.
Yes.
Because today, once you get that assessment and you get a positive result, we start processing you for the loan. You get an offer letter. You must do your account. If you don't have an account, we start processing. But the people that don't get through do still need attention. And they actually form the majority. They do form the majority.
So what happens?
Today now we're working on what we're calling being credit readiness.
Okay.
How to access credit. We're doing quite a number in terms of structure to help see that a lot more people can get into that credit bracket as well and take loans, whether for business, whether for student loan. We want to be able to provide that support, the funding people need.
You said student loan?
Student loan.
For school?
For schools, but not all courses.
Okay.
So today we're supporting digital skills, ICT, information technology skills, blockchain, all these things that we know that.
That's in Lagos State universities or universities?
Well, so the training companies are not necessarily universities. They are just accredited by the certificating partners to do those courses in Nigeria.
Short courses.
Yeah.
So let me even ask you this question, because I realize that in your line of work, I'm sure you know the problem bedeviling our educational system, which is a lot of graduates come out and they are not equipped to handle the jobs of today. Is there anything in the plan, maybe in the future, a Lagos State will try to partner with schools to change our curriculums to reflect the jobs of today? We have people still studying typewriting and whatever. Do we have that plan in Lagos State?
So let me, I'm happy Mariah is here again.
The education
So I also think that, there's certain things that are in the ambit of the state government and certain things are in federal. Yeah. And basically university education is one. But what Lagos State has done is what we call ready, set, work. And that's where they work with the students in their penultimate year. Okay. To begin to take them through different skills that are relevant for them to get into the job market. So soft skills, they get people, management consultancy, to talk to people around. It's not just being a lawyer. Now you need to be an entrepreneur. Because when you think like that, you think of your career in terms of entrepreneurship. And a lot can be done even in that space rather than... I know that we definitely...
the rejig
something about curriculum, definitely.
So I know some people are enjoying this conversation, but they don't want to get to that point. This is not to discourage taking the loan. This is to make a person taking the loan have an entire idea of what will happen. So this is not a loan that you take and don't pay back. You know, Nigerians, so what exactly will happen?
Let me even add to that question, because former President Jonathan did something recently. Which you win. And one of his complaints was that they would get it, but they didn't use it for the business. They wanted that money, and it was free money for them. So it messed up that entire program. So have you taken any lessons from that experience to ensure that the money is adequately used? Or if they don't use it, what happens?
So I worked on UWIN actually before I came to LSCTF. So UWIN was a grant program. Okay. And UWIN's objective really was to diversify the economy, encourage and promote entrepreneurship. And the numbers that we have seen since 2013, 2015, in terms of people now going into entrepreneurship, has actually demonstrated it's actually kind of achieved its objective.
Okay.
A lot more people are interested. Businesses spring up almost every day now because, there's an opportunity. Right. But I'm not saying that the plan was to lose the money. The plan was to build those businesses and see them succeed. Now, for us at LSCTF, it's a loan. So you will get an offer letter that you will sign that says you will repay with a schedule that shows your repayment schedule on a monthly basis. Now, you sign off to that, and then we track you. Today, what we also do is that your accounts, your BVN, are actually tied to the platform, and we automatically sweep. The CBN has also helped our matters. There's something called GSI now. If you default, we can sweep against BVN. So you can't put money in another bank and say, oh, let me hide this somewhere.
Yes.
But we will first follow up with you about what's the issue, why you're not paying. We will send somebody to visit, verify your
guarantor.
Then next, your guarantor. You know,
That's the way no can get guarantor, uncle.
there's no, you can't get
You have to drop from heaven.
You know that. You know, somebody said something to us when we were saying that, okay, what if you can't get it? He said, if you cannot get a guarantor, that means you have no social collateral.
Yes. That's it.
Yes.
And that's the truth. So why you...
That's the truth.
Then so, in fact, how can you run a business?
How do you
Okay,
live?
somebody would look at that and compare it to how you would ask fresh graduates for business experience, work experience.
5 years.
So we have a lot of Nigerians who haven't got, since they graduated, haven't gotten a job. They've been home and really just being domesticated, and they've now heard about this and they're coming to you. So they really don't have maybe someone who will be an eligible guarantor.
For a business, so take a skill. There's an option. There's an option, you know. And then if under the Lagos Innovate program, it's not a loan. These are grant programs.
Yes.
So if you already have a business that you believe would qualify, and what you're looking for is business space, you understand? Access to talent. So that is a grant program. So they're a bouquet of things that people can get access to.
Before I let you go, because we'll be wrapping up soon, I think you've not answered a question I think that was asked earlier. Give us an idea of what's out there.
Okay.
You know, you've talked about digital
medicine.
and the healthcare sector. What else should young people be looking forward to? What are the areas? Because I know that even in entertainment, there are now makeup artists, there are writers, scripting. There's so many other jobs that nobody's been thinking about.
So I think one of the things that, again, of what helped us, what COVID pandemic also helped us to realize is that you can actually pivot. You can change your career.
Yes.
At any point.
Very, very true. So I think that, again, the truth, like you rightly said, there's a lot going on in entertainment. There's a lot going on in media. There's a lot going on. Digital marketing is hot.
They want to tax it now.
This is,
FIRS want to tax it.
we have to.
That's a debate of the digital sector is really
I think it's huge. And I think there are many opportunities. And I think even, so what we call vocational, or what we call vocational training, some people just see it as artisans, but I like a term, and I haven't been able to, Morayo used the term in a discussion and said, technical expertise.
That makes sense.
So even if you're a hairdresser, the technical expertise you must have.
It's important to change them, because anytime you say vocational, I just think of carpentry.
Exactly. So when we think about it, so I think things like that, where it's labor, and a lot of those skills are still very relevant. I think what we talk about, body, beauty, creatives, we know are skills that are important right now. Labor-intensive skills around laundry. Very quick to take up skills, but we're seeing them.
Construction work.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Tilers.
Look, somebody mentioned to us how what they had projected to tile for 6 months was taking them 18 months, and they still hadn't concluded because they couldn't find enough tilers who could do the job. So we're working with them right now to supply skills for that particular building and construction. Because those are when people come to us, that's the kind of solution we provide. We want to help you solve where you're having a skill gap.
You just hit something that just comes to my mind. So are you saying that there could be company owners or manufacturers right now listening to you and think, okay, I'm looking for workers. Can I come to you and say, okay, I need you to source for 1,500 workers in this various fields? Is that something you can also provide?
That's what we do 100%. So what we then do immediately is work with a training center to make sure that the curriculum they're providing matches what the company is looking for. And they start training those people. And the best part for us with that is that then they get to work at that company immediately. They don't even have to wait anymore. There's almost guaranteed placement as long as you get the certification from that training.
That is what the university should be doing.
So projections, what are you looking at? How many people are you hoping to employ in the next year, 2 years? Give us some numbers that we can look forward to.
Okay, so for us, till date, actually, we've been able to support about 25,000 businesses around our gamut of offerings. Okay. But we want to do a lot more. What we're thinking, what we wanted, this year alone, we were hoping to do at least 60,000. But again, COVID, and there's been a lot of, I think, fear for people don't really want to take loans at the moment. More people are interested in grants. And we have grants program running right now for businesses as well to recover from COVID. So we're calling it the COVID Action Recovery Economic Stimulus Program, where we're going to be supporting we're hoping to support at least over 2,500 businesses in Lagos for operational grants, credit grants, and IT enhancement grants. Good. Because again, IT helps to make businesses more resilient, and we can increase revenues. But overall, our targets in this market is to be able to create at least 100,000 plus direct and indirect jobs in the next 12 months.
Fantastic. Thank you. I think you're doing a good job. We'll be calling you once in a while to give us a review, because the truth is that we want to support every cause to get young people employed. It's important that we get these children off the streets, get them equipped and ready to take on the world. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's been a pleasure.
Okay, ladies, that's all we can take on the show today. I hope you enjoyed the show as much as we have. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.